you're ready for this.
Gonna be fun.
You will not stand in my way.
Frostborn. Hunger. This pleases me.
I do not fear you, mortal.
Your soul shall be mine.
Don't make me laugh.
Needs a brew? Oh, I do. Feel a shredding, baby. Let the battle begin.
Welcome to the 41st episode of Trollin HGC, a Heroes of the Storm podcast focused on esports and a member of the Trolls.gg Entertainment Network. I'm your host, LiQuid, and I'm joined as always by Bahgz. Been a couple weeks, but we're back, man. How's it going?
It has been forever. All right, it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like forever. It's
does,
been a while,
doesn't it?
man.
Like,
So,
it's weird. You miss a show, and then you miss a second show because life happens, and you're like, wait a minute. Feels like it's been months. Only been 2 weeks. Why
it's
does it feel this
crazy.
way?
Absolutely crazy, dude. So I went on vacation, which was cool until I got sick. And then you had a work trip, which sent you cross country. So
Yep.
it's been
It all just added. I was literally in the air when we were supposed to be on the air last time. And I was like, man, normally I try to work around it so I can be at least on the ground somewhere when we're supposed to be on. And I just, like, there was no way. I was flying in the air, and I was not going to stay an extra day in Canada for the show. I wanted to come home. So that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'm glad we're back. We got a lot to talk about, mostly playoffs, but there's all sorts of weirdness going on in the realm of HGC. Before we jump into that, I want to mention a couple of things. One, our Heroes of the Dorm bracket group is coming to a close as Heroes of the Dorm is coming to a close. But if you want to join, it's not too late. Trolls.gg/HOTD. See how you compete with all the other Trolls listeners out there. And
I'm not doing too bad. Sorry.
You're not. No, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's see where everybody is. I'm good with that. I don't know why I just jumped like right away. Like, oh,
I'm tied with Dorsch right now. We both have 870 points, but we lost our champion, UCI.
Right. Which
You're
is gonna hurt.
You're in a good spot there. You've got Kentucky winning it all.
I do, and if Kentucky can win the next 2 games, I might overtake you guys.
So that you were in a good spot there. Unfortunately, the group leader Velo, if I'm reading that right, Velo has Buffalo as his champion and has a very sizable lead right now.
He smoked everybody. What do you mean sizable? He's like up 100 points. I don't think it's possible to catch him.
I don't know how. Does it say how much the championships are worth?
I think it does somewhere, but I don't remember what it was.
All right,
honest. But that shouldn't discourage you. If you're listening and you have a bracket, go join. Maybe your bracket is actually good enough to beat the guy. I know I probably can't catch him with my Kentucky pick, but maybe you can. Trolls.gg/HOTD. Also, we've been doing an HGC weekly challenge. Go in, get your picks in for the week. We have a winner, and we're going to go over that later. But when Phase 2 starts, Master League has said they're going to be back with, Liquipedia bought Master League. We should go over that because that's news. And we haven't been on. So MasterLeague.net was up for sale, right? Yep. We were looking to possibly work something out with them, but we're not able to quite come to terms, which is cool. Liquipedia, however, did work something out with them, which is awesome. I think that's a good home for Master League, personally.
I agree. It brings two different, like, they had some assets that kind of overlapped, but it brings the two websites we use the most when compiling our notes and like sifting through stuff. It's nice. Now it's kind of going to be all under one roof.
Right.
So,
it's great.
We've got friends that work over there, like eSports John. So it's nice.
It works wonderfully. I'm super happy that mostly I'm happy Master League found a home, right? Like I didn't want that to disappear. So that's awesome that they found a home. But then on top of that, what's also awesome, they've tweeted out and said their challenge would be coming back with Phase 2. So we're going to try and either work something out with them, or I'm just going to figure out a way to integrate the Trolls challenge with Master League so you guys can all get your picks out on Master League. And then we'll just figure out a way to track just all the Trolls players somehow and
Yeah,
still
like
give away a prize.
that'd be pretty cool if you could. Maybe we can somehow coordinate a way where you can like you're allowed to set up groups within there.
Right,
Kinda
right.
Like, like the dorm bracket, right? You can just make your own group and invite people to join it within
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
So we're gonna do something like that. Stay tuned as we get closer into phase 2. We definitely want to keep getting all those trolls competing with us and seeing who can do the best. So
Absolutely.
then we have a Patreon update. I don't know if you've checked it lately. Have you checked it lately?
So we can update the notes here. We're at $29 now a month. So thank you to all our patrons. All the shows will always be free. I'll mention this now. Everything we do is always going to be free. But the Patreon, it is a nice feature for us to hit kind of like these goals where we can provide extra content for you guys. Right now, we've hit our first goal, which was $25 a month. And what that just means is we're going to do after show games. Like tonight, I'll have time. I've got time. I'll be around. We're doing after show games tonight. One of us will always be around. We're going to try and throw some after show games together if there is interest in that. We hit that goal. The next goal we have on the table was an RSS feed for Trent with Entry Level Esports. Now that Trent has he basically got a new job working for, it's not .esports, but it's the eSports Observer.
Yep.
eSports Observer. So he's no longer doing Entry Level Esports. His focus is on that. He's got a nice paid gig, so good for him. So the next goal right now is the call-in show. If we hit $150 a month, we will do a call-in show. It's a monthly call-in show for the listeners and viewers. Patrons will get priority, but everyone from the community is welcome to call in and ask the trolls their burning questions on the most recent Heroes news. So that is our next goal. We might fill in a separate $50 goal as like a nice in-between goal. We'll probably change that at some point, but I haven't thought of anything cool to mix in there yet. So, I mean, if anyone's got some ideas, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. DMs are open.
Awesome. And our troll of the week this week. So between Trolls GG and Gank Bush God, we created Bush League. Just a little 4-team league right now with members of our audiences and members of the shows. Play each other every week. On Monday nights, all the games are streamed. Anyway, Sir Ice Cream out there put together a little fan website with just some little bit of meta information, a little bit of wins and losses, things of that nature. The link is in the show notes. It's just a Wix site that he put together. Kind of a cool little, like, who does what, takedowns, who's got the better KDA, things like that. So interesting.
I'm not going to lie. So I didn't know this was a thing until I was going through the notes an hour and a half ago. Yep. And I saw this, and this blew my mind. I don't know how much work it took for him, but big shout out to him because this is awesome. Like Super Dave, absolutely just killing it with top takedowns,
right?
Top siege damage, top damage done. Yeah, it's just really, really cool stuff. I really like that. And then he tracked, the wins losses for each week and stuff like that. So very, very cool.
Absolutely. Interesting stuff. So thank you, Sir Ice Cream. You are our troll of the week.
I gotta ask you, is the first season of Bush League over now that you guys
did
the round robin, or
still
how's that
going,
work?
Man, still going. So we have a couple of weeks left, and then from there have a playoffs and a final champion crowned. I think every team, if I remember correctly, every team is playing each other twice.
Oh, so it's like a double round robin. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we go through May 28th with round robin games. And then on June 4th, we have 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. And then on June 11th, we have the finals. So
sweet.
Yeah. The whole schedule all can be found on trolls.gg/bush-league. All right. You want to get into some news now that we've gotten through the other stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tonight on the Trolls.gg podcast network, Trollin HGC proudly presents Heroes eSports news, notes, and drama with your hosts, LiQuiuD and Bahgz.
All right, so not a whole lot of news. I know a lot of other things have gone on over the last couple of weeks, and honestly, I I feel like I'm probably going to miss a bunch of things, but that's okay. The big news of the day, Team 12 is now sponsored by Octalysis.
Yes.
Now,
we can take a second to talk about this.
The biggest note. So first of all, congratulations, Team 12. It's awesome that you guys are sponsored again. That needed to happen. This is the only note I wrote in here for myself was this is another non-traditional esports organization.
You can say that again,
right? Much like we got out of who was Zealots for like a month and a half. Wish. Thank you.
But even I mean, like I can see like advertising to people who are like tech savvy, like most esports viewers, right?
Right.
Like advertising to an online, shopping website. Like I get that, right? Like this is different. And I kind of wish we had Yipboss around to, I guess, explain it some more, because I'm sure he's well aware that it's different. But I just wish we could get some more details. I don't know. Like obviously the players don't care as long as there's the sponsorship benefits them. I just want to know
right.
I want to know how this benefits Octalysis. Like I was mentioning to you before the show started, like this doesn't seem like what Octalysis offers is something the demographic of Heroes esports fans would be interested in, right? Like this is,
yes and no. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But there's got to be Heroes players out there that watch HGC that could be interested in it, right? Like
some self-help motivation improvement.
Well, and it's not just that, right? Because they do gamification of work. They do a lot of other things. So somewhere there's somebody that thinks that the product that they offer is good and will watch HGC and be like, you call those guys. Or you know what? I shouldn't say that. I think they'll see more. I'm sure they saw a huge spike in web traffic today. Maybe not huge, but every single person that saw that tweet was like, who the hell is Octalysis? Let me go look them up, right? And oh, this is interesting. Maybe this applies to me, right? I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I have no answer for you.
Even the people that are interested in it, it seems like it's a very, very small subsection of the community, right?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yes.
I could see where this would be interested. Like something like this, like when someone's interested in this, it seems like they want to take it to the next level to whatever they're doing.
Right.
So I could see maybe pro players, managers. I could see content creators, someone who's trying to improve whatever they're doing. Right. I could get that, but or maybe even someone who's trying to find some other way to climb the ladder and is willing. I don't know. I don't even know. That just sounds crazy to me, but you know what I mean. But it
is a little bit. It is.
Let me. I gotta find some sort of edge.
Octalysis. That's the answer.
Yeah. That's how I'm gonna get to Grandmaster 37 this season.
Right.
But, I don't know.
No, but you know what? At the end of the day, maybe it'll become clear. Maybe they'll start dropping press releases and we'll be like, oh, that totally makes sense, right? Roll20 made sense right away, but then they started doing stuff with it. And the same with Wish. Wish was like, oh yeah, let us explain why we did this. And maybe the right answer is bug Trent into writing an article about it, right?
Yeah.
So for all we know, he's already prepping the article. Right, so I didn't check with him today. That would have been the better move. LiQuid, way to go, buddy.
Regardless,
I'm
happy for Team 12.
Absolutely,
I'm happy for him. So,
yep.
No more TT camp though.
Before we jump into all the HGC stuff, which is what we really want to talk about tonight, do you have any news that I didn't remember or didn't put on the list? That was really all I put on.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Even on the Weekly Blizz, we've been covering a lot of Overwatch League drama because there's been a lot there, and HGC's been kind of quiet.
Right.
So, now with this news, I'm sure we've got a new topic to talk about. Thinking ahead. Anyways, go ahead. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else. We're good.
Okay. Well, let's jump into HGC stuff.
stitches for as well. It's a 1-for-1 trade. It's a 1-for-1 trade as we once again have the Dragon Blade used on the side of Genji. He's trying that in, dashes out, sail yellow.
That was just about the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's a dance party and you're invited.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HGC Western Clash.
All right. So let's jump into some results. Shall we?
Let's do it.
China. We're going to start with China because China not only finished the regular season, they also then went through and did their little playoffs.
China is ahead of the curve. Excuse me.
Yep. No, they absolutely are. So, all right. CE looks really strong for China. Right. When they finished the season, CE #1, I think they'd only lost like 2 maps. They were looking really, really good. Okay.
I'm very surprised that that SPT finished as poorly as they did.
I was too, honestly. I absolutely was. Well, and that gets into as we go through this, right? So then we had playoffs, okay? And RPG is a bottom tier team, but they started out and they looked pretty good.
They were riding the Miracle Road for a second there.
Right? They were looking good. And then they ran into Beyond the Game and it was like brick wall. All right, you're done. But then Beyond the Game looked really good and they stomped SPT 3-0, which
again.
Right. But Beyond the Game has been known to show up at times like that, right?
Right. And they went to BlizzCon.
Right. So I wasn't too surprised about Beyond the Game doing that well. I was a little, but not as much as I was about some of the other people that won, right? Or that how they performed. But then BTG hit the 1 and the 1 won that game, or won that series 3-1, which meant now the 1 is qualified to go to Mid-Season Brawl because it's top 2 from China. And CE already was guaranteed the spot. So then they have a grand final, which is something we're not seeing in Korea, EU, or NA. They have a grand final, and CE ends up winning 3-1, thus securing the #1 seed going into Mid-Season Brawl and putting the 1 in as the #2 seed for mid-season. Other than China being China, which is, I think, I was like, I asked in Discord earlier tonight, I was like, am I missing something? Or like, did China just like do something different than everybody else? And everybody confirmed with me, yep, it's just China being China. I said, okay, great. So other than China being China, did anything else like jump out at you there?
The biggest thing is I don't have the information in front of me right now, but when's the last time that SPT did not go to an international from China? I think they went to every single one in 2017.
I think they did too.
I think like even when they weren't supposed to, like they were not supposed to go to the mid-season brawl last year.
Right.
CE couldn't go, so SPT went. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do. I know exactly what you mean, and I think you're right.
I think they went because they went to BlizzCon. They went to all the clashes, and they did season brawl last year. I'm pretty sure, and they went to the clash this year.
Right.
It's interesting to me that they're struggling right now. I don't know if that's a result of the team stagnating, if that's a meta shift and CE's playing better in this particular meta. I'm not 100% sure what the cause of that is, but
right.
It's interesting to me. And the other thing I wonder about is, I think it's safe to assume that we're not going to get the full rosters from either of the Chinese teams at the midseason brawl. I think we can just safely assume that. But are we going to get a situation where like a team just can't go and SPT has to go again? I wonder. Like I'm very curious. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Right. So, but with CE playing as well as they are right now, I'd like to see where they stack up against North America. I think it's safe to say that Korea and Europe are significantly better than them. North America shown at the Clash how much better they were. So I'd be curious. We'll talk about it more when we preview the midseason brawl.
Yep. Yeah.
Curious
that
to
makes
see
sense.
where China is if it's still fourth in the pecking order behind North America. You know?
Yeah,
As far as
it'll be interesting if that's what happens or not.
Or if even any of the minor regions like ANZ, you know, is constantly been the strongest as far as I'm concerned, right there with Taiwan, the strongest minor regions. Like, hopefully China hasn't fallen so far that, you know, they're behind the top minor region teams. You know, we'll see. So I say hopefully, but I'm sure those regions are saying hopefully they have.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely, and that makes sense. All right, over in Korea. All right, so this is weird. I'd love to say there were no surprises in Korea.
Yeah.
Or no, I'd love to say there were surprises in Korea. Sorry, but there really weren't. I love Tempest. I really love Tempest. But even I had picked Blossom to beat him. I had picked Blossom 3-1 over Tempest. So the 3-0. The 3-0 surprised me a little bit, but there wasn't anything that like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. You know what I mean? At least I can't think of anything that happened in Korea. Do you have anything that was like, wow?
So, I mean, like I wouldn't. Yes, Blossom has improved significantly. I just didn't think that. I thought they were still solidly fourth best in the region, but Tempest's fall has been precipitous. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like it has been, like they have dramatically made a downturn for the worst since the Clash. Right, so they didn't. They don't win the Clash, and then it's just been down. Literally, like they're 10-4, and those 4 losses came in the second half. Week 6 through 10, they are 3-4 with an 11-14 map record. They have a losing map record.
I know. I know. You don't have
to with an overall losing record. Now, technically, again, one of those matches was a forfeit against Felice because Good couldn't make it to the studio that week, and 3 of those map losses. So I guess it's safer to say that they would be 4-3. They probably would have beaten Felice. They probably would have beaten them 3-1, 3-0. Mm-hmm. So you could flip flop it a little bit, but it's just barely in a positive win margin. You know, it's barely above 500. So they have fallen out of favor. It could be a meta shift, like you said. It could be I'm fully in belief of they are a hot cold team. And when they're streaky, so like they're like when they won their world championship in 2016 in the summer region, I believe, it was just they caught fire. You know, it's a very, very micro intensive team. They are a dominant team fighting team, but it doesn't always click. And sometimes when it's all clicking, everything's clicking, they are dominant. And when it's not, it's not. And I think that maybe that's what it was. Is they were just, you know, everything was coming up Tempest weeks 1 through 5, and now it's not. So
now it's definitely not.
No, it's certainly not. Getting 3-0'd by Blossom is not a good look. So, everything else, like you said, Ballistics 3-0 Miracle, Black 3-0 Ace. Good luck 3-0 Felice. It's a very boring week from Korea. Very very standard. Regardless, you know, I guess we'll talk about it when the playoffs come up here. But you know, Blossom put Tempest on notice for what it's worth. That was a statement match. Like maybe that's another thing. Maybe Tempest is hiding strats. Like this is our biggest competition for qualifying for the midseason brawl. There's one spot here, and this is the team that we're probably going to be facing in the grand finals, competing for that spot. Like maybe they're hiding strats, and like, you know, who knows? I doubt it, but I take that as like that was a statement match. That was Blossom putting Tempest on notice and saying like, listen, we're coming for you, and we are gunning for your spot. You know, there is blood in the water, and we are the Sharks, right?
Right. Cool.
Anyway, that's what I got from Korea.
All right. No, those are all good points. Jumping over to EU. Again, like this was the weekend of no surprises in my opinion. EU still nothing that was like, oh man, that was crazy. Tricked versus Method went closer than I thought it was gonna end, but the game itself still ended the way, or the series itself still ended the way I thought it would. Just nothing really jumped out, you know.
So Fnatic has got a new coach. That's something we could have mentioned in the news. Fnatic's got a new coach. Blumby is now coaching Fnatic.
Yes.
He was coaching Diamond Skin, I believe, if I remember correctly. He went with Darkmock over there. When they left Team LiQuiud, he got his revenge, so to speak, because the new team he's coaching 3-0'd LiQuiud this past weekend, and I believe it was his first week on the bench, wearing the suit and tie, so to speak. So, you know, kudos to him. I would have liked to have seen leftovers, you know, take a map off Diamond Skin. It didn't happen.
Right.
And I would have liked to see LiQuiud play a more competitive set against Fnatic. Now, Fnatic looks better than they have. They've been shaky, right? As far as we consider Fnatic, right? Like they're 10-4.
Yeah, it's not the Fnatic of old.
It's not last year's Fnatic, and I think we still have that in our mind.
Right.
So like when they're not like just dominant, and it kind of, I don't know, it just, we have last year's Fnatic in our mind. The team that won the midseason brawl, the team that got second place at BlizzCon. That's the Fnatic we have in our mind. And we probably need to like just come to terms with like, it's not that roster.
It's not them.
So I don't know. Long story short, they're second. They're going to the midseason brawl. They 3-0'd LiQuiud. LiQuiud looks a lot better. I was I like with Fnatic struggles and how well LiQuiud was playing post Clash. I was like, dude, LiQuiud might be the second best team in EU right now.
Right,
probably not the case. It's probably still Fnatic. I'm probably over exaggerating how poorly Fnatic's doing. Fnatic's still really good.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
They
right?
3-0'd LiQuid. Like I think that says enough.
Right.
That being said, it's gonna be interesting come playoff time because Fnatic's already qualified for the midseason brawl because EU won the Clash. They get to send 2 teams.
Right. Yep.
So, all right. I don't really have anything else for EU. Do you? Anything else you wanted to elaborate on there?
No, I think you covered it all nice. Let's jump over to NA. Again, like everything else, all the games finished the way I expected them to. Simplicity versus Team Freedom was a lot closer than I thought it should.
I'll say this for Simplicity. Starting in week 9, I'd say that team has really turned a corner. They 3-0'd GFE in week 9. They 3-0'd No Tomorrow in week 9. And then they took Team Freedom to the full 5. And I'm not, I believe it was, they had them on the ropes too. Like Freedom had to win those last 2 matches to beat them. You know, they were down 2-1.
Right.
So I will give them credit in that regards that they, starting week 9, they got themselves as far away from the Crucible as possible. And they've played well. They really have. So kudos to them in that regard. Maybe Urhot was the problem. Who knows? Or maybe Prismaticism has made a huge difference. Team Freedom has made me nervous ever since the Clash and post Clash. You know, Collusion, if you're listening,
Yes.
I hope you've got a secret plan, buddy, because you guys make me nervous. The Clash went poorly, and then this post, the weeks 6 through 10 have been up and down. You know, they've won the matches they're supposed to win. They've lost matches to the teams that are higher than them in the standings, which I guess makes sense on paper. But I still like in my heart of hearts like to believe. I believe that you guys would. I still in my heart of hearts believe that you guys are a top 2 team in NA, right? So you know, maybe Simplicity just, I don't know, but kudos to them on the win. Tempo 3-0 and JFE. Tempo was clicking on all cylinders, but not just them. So was Heroes Hearth. Heroes Hearth is, you know, they 3-0. We didn't get to cover it, but Heroes Hearth swept Tempo Storm, and they are just playing out of their minds really well now. They have beaten all the tough teams this phase. They went undefeated. Like, I mean, like there's no other way to say it, you know, like the weeks 6 through 10, 7-0, 21-6 map record, you know, like that's insane. They are dominant right now. So
I can't wait to see what they do at midseason brawl.
They have to qualify first.
Hold on. I think I was clear enough. I can't wait to see what they do at midseason brawl. You're right. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. All right, so we got some meta notes, and I went through. Some of these things jumped out at me. I don't know if you went through all of the regions, but some of these like really jumped out at me. And in China. All right, so while Garrosh is popular everywhere, in China, Garrosh is way popular as their go-to tank. Like there's no it's like you go Garrosh.
It's like it's Garrosh and then second most popular Warrior, not even tank, like Warrior is Sonya at 45%.
Right. It's like Garrosh. It's crazy. Crazy. But then starting a trend that's gonna sound really familiar as we go through the other regions. Malfurion's sitting at an 84% pick rate in China.
Yep.
Overwatch heroes top in the chart with Hanzo, Genji, and Junkrat rounding out the 3 most popular assassins in China currently.
That's why Reddit's calling it Overwatch of the Storm right now, man.
It definitely is Overwatch of the Storm right now. And as we go through the rest, like there are a couple of repetitive themes to the meta notes right now for this phase. But NA, so this one's my favorite. Medivh has an 82% ban rate. No other region comes even close to that ban rate. Only NA, no Medivh allowed. I think maybe
apparently he breaks
one
the game
tricks.
in North America.
Right? Like, Jesus, man. But Garrosh is popular at 74%, followed closely by Bahgz at 68. So Garrosh still sitting up there. NA also loves Malfurion, not at 84%, at 69%, with Stukov coming in closely at 50% after that. But this was the cool one for me. Maiev has a 95% popularity right now. In the last couple weeks. 95%, man. That's crazy.
No, I guess that's a good thing to point out. All these stats are from post Clash. These are from week 6 through 10, guys. So bear that in mind. That is insane, by the way. She is sitting on a 54% win rate, 53% ban rate. So, geez. But when you got guys like Psalm doing Psalm things on her, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you lose your train of thought?
Europe. Yeah, Europe. Sorry. EU. All right. EU. We got Garrosh still sitting in at number 1, but EU's a little more balanced in their Warrior picks. It's not like China. It's not like it's not like China where Garrosh is like crazy high, but they are number 1. And then also like NA and we see Malfurion and Stukov as the go-to healers. But then continuing the trend of Overwatch, we have Hanzo, Tracer, and Genji is the top 3 assassins in EU. Now, I do want to point out, though, that even though those are the top 3 assassins in EU, Maiev was actually really close and lumped in there in the same kind of percentage bracket as the 3 Overwatch heroes. So it wasn't like 95% crazy NA popularity, but Maev's also getting some play in EU.
Yeah.
And then Korea, my friends in Korea. Oh, you got this one, and it made me smile. Genji has a 93% popularity rate, but a 37% win rate.
Yeah, it's insane. He's picked in 65% of matches. Yeah. So he's picked in over half of the matches. He's still banned 27% of the time. But when he does make it through, it's a 37% win rate.
Right? It's crazy. But here's the thing that really broke my brain. Sonya is the number 1 warrior pick in Korea. Sonya. Not a tank. Sonya.
I mean, Dahaka was number 1 warrior pick for a long time too. So, like
it's crazy.
The solo laners.
No, I get it, right? But like you also need a warrior. So like they don't care what warrior they play with as long as they can get the solo laner they want.
Yeah. Yep. No, I hear you.
NA, pay attention.
As a solo laner,
Sonya.
As a solo laner, I appreciate that they feel that it's a very important role to
all right, but then this one also, like Korea, it seems to break me the most. Malfurion has 100% popularity rating. 100%. And only
90%
it was only banned 8% of the time. So everybody's going to play Malfurion, and we're hardly ever going to ban him.
He's just, I mean, he doesn't have a broken win rate, so he just makes it through every time, I guess. I don't know.
Right? It's weird. And then like everything else, Genji, Maiev, Hanzo, Tracer, top 4 assassants.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I wish I could play Tracer. I can't. She's too squishy.
Tracer drives me nuts to try and play. I can't.
I'm too aggressive.
Yes. All right. With all that said, I promised tonight we would announce the winner of the Trolls GG challenge. Now, gone through the results, so it's the right time to announce that. Romaz beat me by 1 point. It was 116 to 115 to a bunch of other numbers for people that were lower than us. Hold on. I actually have that. Tell people. Let's see. But I know Romaz came in at 116. I was at 115. Next highest was Wonderbread at 110. Schizophrenic at 109. Fringe at 105. And Bahgz, because he missed a week, rounding out the bottom group at 96. A whole bunch of other people have numbers in there too. And I will tweet out a link to the challenge score so that everybody can see how they finished. But that is how it happened. I lost by 1 point. Man, I was so close this time. I thought I had it. I thought I had it. Schizophrenic and I were talking during last weekend, and like we had a couple of different picks. So if he won, he'd be ahead, and if I won, I would be ahead. And I'm watching the games. I'm like, oh my god, I'm ahead. Oh my god, I'm ahead. And then I go to do all the scores today so I can finish this and get the Battle.net gift card out. And I pull it up, and I'm like, I lost by a point. I can't believe it. I was like, really? That's what happened. But yeah, so that'll go out. That tweet will go out later today. I want to get Romaz's Twitter handle first so I can link him in the tweet or mention him in. But
there you go.
Congratulations, Romaz. And like I said at the top of the show, we're gonna figure out a way to try and keep this going, but using MasterLeague.net, because I think everybody can agree that that is a better interface than this challenge. So. But you know what? It got the job done. We were able to compete.
We made do. Yeah.
We got to give out a couple of $20 Blizzard gift cards.
Yep.
Or Battle.net cards. That works, right?
Yep.
All right. Preview time. Let me shift us here for a minute. All right, so we're gonna start with the 2 minor regions. We have the Intercontinental Clash, which is ANZ and Copa America. That actual game is going to be, that match rather, is going to be May 13th. It's a single best of 7 between the winner of the ANZ Live Finals, which are happening May 12th in Rio. Those 2 teams are Mindfreak and Crimson Gaming. And the winner of the Copa America Live Final, also happening May 12th in Rio, which is Fratrez and Encore. So those 4 teams are going to play each other, right? You're going to get the Copa America teams playing each other. You're going to get the 2 ANZ teams playing each other. Winner of that plays the International Clash Live May 13th in Rio, and that will be streamed. Then winner of the International Clash punches their ticket for Mid-Season Brawl.
So we get to figure out who from Latin America or who from Australia and New Zealand region, which one of those regions will represent both, which I still kind of am on the fence about. I'm not sure. I get it for a more competitive tournament, but I kind of don't like it.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know. Honestly, though, I'm sorry, Latin America. My money's on Mindfreak right now.
Yo, I agree. I think, unfortunately, like it's crazy as it sounds. It feels like in Australia, the scene is growing, whereas in LATAM, it's going the other direction.
It's shrinking. I definitely feel like that's the case, and that's also why I'm picking Mindfreak over anybody else. But I would say that ANZ wins. Period. Like ANZ beats Copa America here simply because they have actually been playing consistent games.
Yeah.
With their league.
Absolutely. And with the league structure.
Right.
Now, I will say, did you see those Reddit threads where they were commenting on the viewership for HGC Copa America, and they're like, why can't we get a league? Look at these numbers. Why aren't we even being promoted on the launcher? Look at these numbers. Promote us on the launcher.
I actually don't disagree with some of that, but yes.
Yeah, no. So I thought
Look, okay. We've always made it important for us to cover every region. It's one of the tenets of our show. We care about the minor regions as much as we care about the major regions. I truly believe Latin America is getting the shortest end of the stick out of every region. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the partner in Latin America. I don't know if it's... I'm sure it's a lot of things. I'm sure it's not just one thing. I'm sure there's not this is the problem in Latin America. If you change this, you fix everything, right? I'm sure that's not the case. But they get the shortest stick. If you look at Taiwan has Blizzard's eSports Stadium there, and they get to use it. Southeast Asia has that's probably the closest to Latin America, but because Southeast Asia is what it is, they get almost as much support as you see in Taiwan. Not from Blizzard, but from sponsors and stuff, right? So Latin America is just kind of in this bad spot, and I feel bad every time. But so I'm going to use Southeast Asia. There are 2 of the 4 teams are sponsored, and I'm pretty sure that Meow Pork is sponsored as well, but I'm not 100% on that. So 2 of the top 4 teams definitely sponsored in Southeast Asia. Latin America, it's it's just not it's not the same. They try, and I wish them the best because I want to see Latin America do better. But I feel like they just can't quite. I don't know, man. Sucks. I guess that's where I'm stuck at. It sucks for them, right? 6 Cents did all right, coming in second place, right behind Frat Res. I know the guys from Ordo Equitum. I think I've even talked to the Stormborns guys. Those are all the North Region teams. I'm pretty sure I know all the North Region and the South Region teams. Bring It On, Zoni, Encore, and Dynasty. Those are actual, those are good teams. So they deserve more than they're getting, but they don't get it right now for whatever reason. All right.
So I don't want to derail what you were just saying, but I might on accident.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So I was looking at the Taiwanese qualifier for the Horizon Clash. I was taking a sneak peek ahead here. Do you see the logo for the Avengers?
That was Southeast Asia, right?
No, Taiwan.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna shoot it in Twitch chat. Look at this ridiculous list.
Now hold on, man. That is a swanky logo.
Is that a flower? Is that a dragon?
It's a flower, man. That's a flower. That's a swanky logo.
And maybe it's a dragonfly with a giant smiley face.
All right. Well, let's talk about Horizon Clash while people look at that sweet logo. So Horizon Clash is basically the same thing, but it's Taiwan and Southeast Asia. May 19th, we'll see a single best of 7 playing at the Blizzard East Stadium in Taipei. Excuse me. The Taiwanese qualifiers running through May 11th. There are currently 4 teams still set up to win, left to play. The Avengers versus Crossover and No Soak versus 4 Second.
I'm rooting for the Avengers.
Absolutely. With that kind of logo, how could you not? Southeast Asia finished their qualifiers up March 22nd with Resurgence Gaming finishing first. So they're waiting to find out who they're going to face out of Taiwan in Blizzard East Stadium on May 19th in that single best of 7. So while I understand I understand your complaint that by doing this, you're reducing the number of minor region teams that can get to mid-season brawl. Right. I also support the way that we're doing it now, right? I feel like this is a good option. We have everybody kind of running through their own tournaments to get here and qualify. And I feel like it's the best out of what we could have gotten.
Well, I will say that as far as putting together a premier tournament that is, it provides an investment for almost everyone from across the globe to be interested in. Like, so it gets all the viewers from the regions tuning in to watch it, right?
Right.
Assuming that they're awake for, depending on the time, right?
Right.
But it kind of is like a nice halfway point between that. So like it gets people from all over the world interested and tuned in to watch it. Because like if it was just a region, like if it just took the best teams in the world, like literally like if they held a massive tournament and then it was just like the final 8 got to go, for example, and like it was just EU versus Korea or something, like that'd be a lot less interesting for us.
Right.
But inviting teams from all over the world, it still does that to a degree, right? All the major regions get to go. But it also, by eliminating 2 of the minor regions and giving the 2 most powerful regions an extra slot for an extra team to go, it certainly does up the competitiveness of the tournament, which is a good thing in that respect. I just feel like it does take away from it. Maybe it doesn't. I'm sure Blizzard's done some research, but it does feel like it takes away from, I don't know, the flavor of having teams from all over the world there.
No, I get what you're saying. I understand.
But we do, at least this the way we do it this way, at least we know we're getting the 2 best minor region teams, right?
And that was my point, right? We're definitely like, if you ignore
raising our bottom line and improving our top line.
Yes. If you ignore the fact that we don't like the overall feel of the tournament because we feel like we're missing some minor region teams. I definitely, if you ignore that, I think we are now doing it the best way we could. Given Blizzard's only 2 minor region teams total get to make an appearance at the international tournament.
Yeah, at least we get the best 2. So
cool. All right. Well, let's talk playoffs. Shall we?
Let's
talk playoffs.
Let's do it.
All right. I got. All right. My buttons are still working. I'm good. Here we go. All right. Starting with Korea. Miracle and Good Luck face each other first. What are your predictions here, Bahgz? We're gonna predict our way through these 3 brackets.
I think that Miracle's no longer the team they were last year, right? They were forever 4th. They had the really good Gold League way back yonder when they went to the finals and lost to Ballistics.
Yep.
2015, I guess, or 2016, sorry. And then it had 2017. And now
but at least they had Black to practice against in 2017.
Right. Now things are just off the rails. The wheels have fallen off, the doors have blown off, the engine's not, the smoke coming out the engine. This is terrible. They are lucky that they're not going to the Crucible. Let's put it that way, right?
All right. So I think we can both agree that Good Luck wins.
All right, Good Luck wins. Yeah. So
so now you have Blossom versus Good Luck.
Yes. And as much as I like Good Luck because they came in from the open division, they earned their spot, they won their Crucible match, and they have performed fairly well for a newcomer into the Korean League, right? Sitting in 5th place. I don't think they have what it takes to beat Blossom because I like Blossom. I think Blossom's playing a lot better. They picked up some pieces from pieces from Mighty, and they've made some changes, and they look good. They look a lot better than they did last year. Keep in mind that team went to the first Crucible in 2017, won, requalified for the HGC, did a little bit better in the second half of 2017, avoided the Crucible, and now here they are, sitting in 4th place. They went to the Clash. They did okay. I won't say great, but they did okay. And now they are coming off a 3-0 sweep over Tempest, fighting for a spot for the midseason brawl. So I feel confident that they can beat Good Luck.
All right. So I agree with that. And then
this is where things get interesting.
Yes. Blossom versus Tempest. Blossom just 3-0'd Tempest. Can they beat him again? Can they beat him again? That's the question.
So even I, the most ardent Tempest hater on the planet, right, have a hard time kind of being like jumping on the Blossom train in that respect, right? Like even I have a hard time doing.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to.
You have to at this point, I think.
Blossom has won the matches they were supposed to win, and they lost the ones that you'd expect them to lose. They have been the most decisive winners and losers that I can pretty much this since the Clash. They have the 3-0 Tempest, they 3-0'd Miracle, they 3-0'd Ace, they 3-0'd Good Luck, they 3-1 Felice. And then they were decisively beaten by KSV 3-0 and decisively beaten by Ballistics 3-1. So like, not a lot of nail biters there. They either win like because they're supposed to and they win handily, or they lose. So I think I'm gonna lean Blossom, and that's why, because they are consistently doing what you expect them to do. And I'm gonna go with consistency here. I'm gonna go with Blossom, and I'm gonna pick them to win in a nail biter, and say 3-2.
So I think Blossom wins, and I think that's the case because I don't think anything's changing last weekend.
I agree. I think it's fair.
I should point out, and I apologize because I didn't say this at the beginning, but playoffs start Friday. So Friday morning, Korea. Rest of them are Friday too. I'm saying that, and now I'm like double checking just because it wouldn't surprise me if I got this wrong. Let's see.
Saturday, as I'm looking at it now, April 28th at 18 Korea Standard Time.
So Korea's playing Saturday, but EU and NA are playing Friday.
So
go.
I can't.
Right? It's like okay. All right. So Korea starts Saturday, so nobody has to wake up early on Friday. But you do have to watch EU on Saturday.
Yeah, so EU's doing one game a day. I looked at it now. They have one match on Friday, only one match on Saturday, and one match on Sunday.
Where in NA we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And
because we have the extra round because we suck.
And here's the weird thing. Korea's still listing Ballistics as having to play on Sunday. Even though Ballistics is in.
I don't even use the Heroes website. I'm on
But
Wikipedia.
EU isn't, and I just don't know anymore. Anyway, all right, so let's go over EU, which is starting Friday. Tricked is playing Zealots. Who's winning?
Zealots. Tricked is 2 hit or miss for me. They're not. They hit enough to avoid like the Crucible, but they miss enough to never crack the clashes or the brawl. To avoid the lands. They are. I don't want to say that they are Europe's GFE. I don't want to say that because GFE is another one where they're like consistently inconsistent, right?
It might be too late for that, but okay.
Because I don't want to say that. I feel like GFE, that's I think it's safe to say that Trick's probably a better team than GFE. I'm just comparing not play styles.
Yeah. I understand what you mean.
All right.
Yep.
I think I don't even think GFE is inconsistent as Tricked. I guess what I'm trying to get at. Like Tricked is its own animal. So I think Zealots are going to win.
Okay.
I think that's fair to say. I don't think we'll ever see Tricked out of LAN until they change something with that team where they can consistently find that brilliance that they have more often.
All right, well, that sets up Zealots versus LiQuiud on Saturday.
Which should be a great match because Zealots lost to LiQuiud 2 or 3 weeks ago, 3-1. And I am on the LiQuiud bandwagon. I have been on it since they looked great against Dignitas. I had them on the ropes very early in the season, 2-0. unfortunately blew it, but I'm sticking with it. So I think LiQuiud's going to beat Zealots. I think Zealots has looked a lot weaker. We're not sure if it's a meta thing or if the drafts have caught up with them. I believe you were discussing this with Annalise and the Discord. Like, what happened with Zealots? They just got done like taking Dignitas to the limit, like what's going on there? So
I struggle though. I think Zealots could possibly take LiQuiud. I think it's going to be close either way.
It is. We'll call it a coin flip, but I'm leaning towards LiQuiud.
All right. And then winner that takes on Method.
And I think no matter who wins it, I think they beat Method. I don't even know how Method is that still at high as a seed because they've played so poorly. Right? Even leading
yes.
They were a little inconsistent before the Clash. They bombed at the Clash. They have played poorly post Clash. I don't know.
You and I are in the same boat. Like either LiQuid or Zealots, whichever wins beats Method.
Doesn't matter who wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Method is tied with Zealots post week 6 through 10 record. They're both 3 and 4 match record. They have a slightly better map record.
Right. But
yeah.
All right.
And the reason why they are overall is because they had a better phase 1. A much better phase 1 than LiQuid. So they have a slightly better map record. They're both 8 and 6, but they went 29 and 22 in maps, whereas LiQuid went 29 and 24. So they have a slightly better map record. That's why they're ahead of them in the seeding. So like you said, whoever wins round 3, whoever wins the LiQuid Zealots match, so to speak, is beating Method.
Taking them. Yeah.
And if Trick managed to trick Zealots, then I'm taking LiQuid.
If Trick beats Zealots for some weird reason, then LiQuid wins and goes
hands down. So
agreed.
So all right. So
all right.
I guess overall, what I'm saying is, before we dive away, overall, what I'm saying, I think LiQuid's going to be the third midseason brawl team. So the old big 3.
All right. I still think Zealots is, but that's okay. We can disagree on that minor point. I think that's going to be a coin toss. Yeah,
it's close. So
all right, NA,
North America,
NA. All right. We have Simplicity and GFE going up against each other first.
Probably going to be closer than we expect.
I still think GFE does it though.
So,
but it's going to be it's a coin. This is legitimately a coin toss.
Well, here's the thing: is the last time they met was 2 weeks ago, week 9.
Yep.
So April 13th, 2 weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago. Simplicity swept GFE.
I know.
In fact, GFE hasn't won a match since it played LFM in week 8, 3-1. They have been swept by Simplicity.
You're right. No, you're right.
Tough, in their defense, it's a tough schedule. Swept by Simplicity, swept by Team Freedom, and swept by Tempo Storm. So tough schedule. But it's been a while since they've won. Now, also in their defense, they've had some big wins this since the Clash. They beat Team 12 3-2. They took Heroes Hearth to the limit in a 3-2 loss, and Heroes Hearth again is undefeated this phase.
Yep.
So it's not a bad team. Again, it's just a like I've been saying, it's an inconsistent team.
Well, I mean, are you saying Simplicity? Are you calling Simplicity?
So what I'm saying is, do you go with the team that's hot, or you do go with the team that's ice cold? And I am going to ride this. I'm going to ride the momentum of Simplicity and these old gods of Heroes of the Storm North America to a win, at least in the first round. I think they're going to beat GFA.
All right. Okay. And then they come in to face Team Freedom.
And I think Team Freedom has shown that they can at least beat Simplicity 3-2. So
oh man.
Considering they just did it last weekend. So
listen, man, Collusion is gonna take your jersey away at this rate.
No, I didn't say that they were gonna lose. I said they're gonna win. At least.
All right.
So I think Team Freedom can beat Simplicity.
I actually agree. I think Team Freedom wins that game, but then they run into.
But who do you think Team Freedom's playing? You never said.
I'm going to root for GFE because I have personal issues with.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that. But then Team
then
Freedom wins.
Okay.
And then Team Freedom faces Team Octalysis, which used to be Team 12. And I apologize, I didn't change the logos. Sorry, guys. But Team 12.
We're hurting the brand.
Right.
The gamification brand.
We're crushing the brand right now. I don't know that Team Freedom can win that game.
It's tough to say. I actually don't disagree. It's tough to say. Now, both teams have kind of been up and down. They Team 12 finished 5-2. Team Freedom finished 4-3. Team 12 finished with obviously with a better map record. In the head-to-head in week 6, the first week back from the clash, Team 12 3-0'd them. But
yep,
they both have had some like head-scratching like losses, so to speak. Like Team 12 lost to GFE 3-2. Like what?
Yes.
Like that was like, how did that happen? You know?
Right.
Right. Team 12 lost. That was a rough week for them, but Team 12 lost to Heroes Hearth. Again, we found out Heroes Hearth was going to go on and be undefeated for this split, so who knew? So it does that.
Well,
in retrospect, it doesn't look so poorly. But Team 12 also beat Tempo Storm 3-2. So it's like,
yeah, it's all over. Like the top of NA is a mess. But I feel like I have to point something out here, as you pointed this out. Since Heroes Hearth won the Crucible, I have said they will dominate. And it may have taken them a couple weeks to get going, but they're dominating now. They're playing like I expected them to play.
I fully believed the power rankings that were published. They were going to be like a 4th or 5th best team. I thought that they were going to be middle of the road. So I am pleasantly surprised. They'll put it that way.
They're playing amazingly.
No, yeah, I know. That's incredible. They are Dante's Inferno hot right now. So
yes.
That being said, I don't want to jump ahead to Heroes Hearth. Team 12, Team Freedom. Who's your pick? And then I'll say mine.
I think Team 12 wins.
Okay, I think that's fair. And I think that
I'm sorry. I think Team Octalysis wins.
I think that I agree with you. I think that my gut is telling me Team Octalysis wins this match.
Okay.
And I think it's close. I think it's like a 3-2. I really, obviously, I want Team Freedom to win. And like, but my gut doesn't say that. And I always go with my gut. So,
okay.
And then looking at, holy moly, oh, you were changing the logo. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It like highlighted everything. It looked kind of cool. So anyways, I'm picking Octalysis to win as well and defeat Team Freedom. And then it's the Heroes Hearth match. And I think I can resoundingly say, very confidently, like you referred to earlier, Heroes Hearth is going to win that match. And,
oh, yeah.
And I don't, like, it might be a 3-1. I don't see it going the full 5. It might even be a sweep. Like, Heroes Hearth going mid-season brawl, and I think we can all agree on that. That team is playing hot right now. I'm looking
you can't
for,
not take that team.
I'm trying to find a good metaphor or something, but they're playing really well, so good for them.
Absolutely. All right. Cool. That finishes our playoffs coverage. Next week, we're going to dive deep into the Crucible. We'll be joined by Slug Hunter, manager of King's Gambit. And then the week after, actually, I think then we have a week break before Midseason Brawl starts on June 9th.
And if Slug is still in chat, maybe you might want to consider maybe announcing on the show who they're going to play. Just throwing it out there, dudes. It's a cool idea.
All right. You want to get into some amateur stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
And the Mastermind Storm is awaiting them. Welcome to the paint train. Kill the boss! Kill the boss! Can they do it? It's too much damage from me! And that's GG!
All right. Heroes of the Dorm. Heroic 4 starts May 12th. Make sure you get your picks in. Blizzard's got a little pick your winner out there. Heroes of the Dorm, pick 'em. Definitely check that out. Get your picks in just for winners. It's got like a box, a chest reward.
I gotta say, I'm rooting for Buffalo because I had a bunch of buddies that went to UB. Who I went to school out that way, not at Buffalo, but to another school near Buffalo.
Yep.
It's in New York. I'm from New York. Go Buffalo.
All right. Like I mentioned earlier, Crucible's next weekend, and we'll have Slug Hunter on, manager of King's Gambit, so we can preview the Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime he wants to announce who their team's playing, that's cool. We won't say anything. Keep between us friends.
Unless you want to do a public announcement on the show, you know, cool publicity.
We also won't knock you for that. We didn't cover the end of the playoffs, so we're going to go ahead and go over all of the Open Division playoffs to kind of give you guys a little heads up on what brought those teams into the Crucible. So in EU, Granite Gaming versus Go. Granite had some disconnects and had to be disqualified and pushed down into the lower bracket after a bunch of disconnects just completely wrecked their games early on. But they really wanted that Crucible spot, so they went ahead and they won every game after that in the losers bracket, taking out everybody, including Team Singularity, setting them up to go to the... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was very surprised that Singularity didn't qualify for the Crucible.
I was too, but
it's a sponsored roster. It's a team. It's a strong roster. It's got some, you know, it's a team that played extremely well throughout. But you know what? They didn't earn it. So I guess.
Well, I mean, you know what it came down to? Worst positioning looked really, really good, and so did Granite, right?
Yeah.
So worst positioning knocked out Singularity into the lower bracket, and then Granite finished off Singularity in the lower bracket, setting up that Granite versus worst positioning game in the grand finals. And worst positioning continued their dominance and won that 4-2. So worst positioning gets their pick.
And again, keep in mind, worst positioning is the team with star player Sonic Le Beast.
Yes.
You know, who filled in for...
Well, they looked even better after he went... I
went to the Clash?
Yes, thank you. I was trying to remember the name of
that
it.
Experience.
He did, and the team looked better for it. So... and then over in NA, XD also ran into the disconnect goblins, lost to number 8 Gazwa. Rouge et O, which is also also a dorm team, got knocked out, as well as early favorites Arya Please. King's Gambit though looked great, going the whole way through that top bracket and finishing off for the
I'll tell you what, that
for the
caught
qualification.
a lot of people off guard. How
yeah,
about
it did.
that, right?
I can't wait to talk to Slug next week and like really dive into like what changed and how they pulled that off, because nobody was expecting that, and they just came in and smacked everybody around. So
like they on fire and just lightning in a bottle, or like signs of great things to come. I
can't wait to find out. So then XD in the lower bracket moved through there, taking out Nightcare and EID to also qualify for the Crucible. So setting up a grand final that was King's Gambit versus XD. And I was actually looking forward to this match. I thought this was going to be really, really competitive grand final. King's Gambit was having none of that and went, congratulations, you get our sloppy seconds 4-0, baby. Bam! Just crushed them. So it was... I mean, the games were good. It wasn't like, you know, level 20 to level 13 kind of stuff, but man, that 4-0. That 4-0. So, yeah. All right. That's all I got for amateur. Anything else? You got anything you want to go over?
Let's see. Well, I just want to ask you a question. If you're King's Gambit and you have the app, if you're Slug and you're like, all right, we could pick LFM, or we could pick No Tomorrow. Who do you pick? If you're Slug Hunter right now, manager of King's Gambit, and you have that option for you, who do you pick? I know who I pick, but I want to hear who you pick.
This is hard. I think
That's why it's a good question to ask.
I think No Tomorrow.
I agree.
Well, no, that wasn't who I was picking.
Oh, whoa! Whoa!
Hold
You're
on,
gonna
man.
stab Hero Physio in the back just like that?
Well, so here's the thing. I wanna throw out these two thoughts. I'm not necessarily picking either right now. I'm just throwing out these two thoughts. I think with the change to No Tomorrow, they're close to finding their style. Right? Now the real question is, do we have Okay, the real question is, if either of these teams make it through the Crucible, how many people are surviving roster apocalypse? So, and you know what? I really don't know. Like LFM continues to look better and better every week. Like solidly better every week. So like, do you want to face someone who's improving every week, or do you want to face someone who just made a roster change and is still struggling? Like, I guess if I look at it from that logical point of view, I would want to face No Tomorrow. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
don't know.
Say that the team hasn't made massive strides. Like I thought by now that LFM would, and maybe I'm not being fair to them, I thought that they would be better than 1-6. Now that these things aren't easy, but I thought that they would be more competitive with, like, say, Simplicity, or not 1-6, but 1-6 since week 10. I thought they would be a lot more competitive with, like, the Gale Forces and the Simplicities of the world. And maybe they are, okay. And those games that they lost to them were closer than I thought. But I mean, they did go the full 5 with Simplicity. That being said, I do think they are significantly better than they were pre-Clash, and they beat their direct competition at the bottom of the barrel, No Tomorrow, 3-1 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So if I'm King's Gambit, I'm looking at this.
Whoa! Sorry. Go ahead. Raw shock in chat, man.
Oh, man, I completely disagree. I don't think either of the Open Division teams have what it takes to defeat. We'll talk about this more when the time comes. No offense, Slug. I don't think either HGC teams are losing to the Crucible teams. But that being said, I think if you're King's Gambit, you're picking No Tomorrow. You're picking the team that had to make a change unanticipated. Like, I don't think they were prepared to make that Jason change. It is a team that I thought was going to see improvement as they, like, solidified with Jin being the tank and being the tank player, playing the tank role for a team that needed a tank player. I thought that was going to be a major positive move for them. It hasn't shown to be that. They lost to LFM, like I said. It's a team that literally has gone 0-6 since the Clash. If I'm King's Gambit, I'm picking No Tomorrow. It's a team I feel like I have a better chance of beating.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got for you, man. I'm ready to wrap it up.
What about EU? I'm gonna flip it over on you. What about EU? Leftovers?
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess it's EU. See, EU is not as, it's a little more cut and dry, right? Like Leftovers are playing better. They won another match. They split. They beat Method 3-2. Like, but at the end of the day, Diamond Skin is still, I think, a better roster on paper and a better performing roster. And even though they didn't do that well, and they're going to the Crucible again.
But are they?
They are, like, the Diamond. Yeah, no. You pick the Leftovers. I don't think it's that close. Honestly, I don't think it's that close. And Diamond Skin to me is like the old Naventic roster. Like, not like.
All right, no. I get what you're saying.
Because like, not in like everyone dislikes the players on the roster kind of way, but in like it's a team that
nobody's. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. They're just a step above.
No, I get it, man. I get it.
You know, they're maybe they're not competitive to, and you know, they're not a 50-50 win team. you know, they're not a 500 team in HGC, but they're a cut above those open division teams. That's all I can say. And Rawshock, that's exactly how I feel about for NA. I just don't think those open division teams have what it takes to beat the HGC teams. I don't see the level of coordination that you see in the HGC. That's why. So I don't think that's there. You know, HHE was just it was a different animal. It was just, they were playing on a whole nother level, you know, like, and not to knock King's Gambit, but like, we saw them get hot for a weekend, but is that a big enough sample size to say, you know, definitively like, damn, that team's an HGC team? Or were they just playing out of their minds for a weekend, you know?
Right. Okay. All right.
That's all.
Cool.
That is what.
Anything else?
No, I got nothing else for you, man.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, I think we'll close the show. Thank you all for listening to Trollin HGC weekly podcast about Here's the Storm eSports, a member of the Trolls.gg Entertainment Network. Stream live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrollsGG every week on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. However, with that said, next week we will be on Wednesday. Not Tuesday.
Yeah, I have work. Sorry.
Right. Unfortunately, there is work involved. So we will be on Wednesday, not Tuesday next week. With that, though, Bahgz, where can people find you?
I will say I now realize that Rawshock was probably referencing EU. And I will say that I can't definitively say with EU. Like I haven't followed the EU Open Division as closely. No. That was definitely NA. He was definitely referring to NA for you. Oh yeah. All right,
oh yeah. He thinks both NA teams and leftovers are out.
All right. Well, that's I stick by what I said with NA.
Right,
with EU.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Rawshock, you gotta attend next week because we're gonna have Slug on and we're gonna really dive into the Crucible, and you guys can can have it out. Promise. I promise. All right, Bahgz, where can people find you?
All right, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Bahgz HGC. As well, if you enjoyed tonight's show and are interested in Blizzard's other esport offerings, consider subscribing to the Weekly Blizz. It's where my buddy Guaz and I cover all of Blizzard's esports. We have kind of changed the format on that show a little bit recently. It's more of a discussion-oriented show. We kind of actually started doing that when we had our 50th episode with you on it. Like we've kind of adopted a roundtable format where we pick a hot button topic. Lately, Overwatch League has been spoon feeding us that. And we share our opinions on the matter, you know, like the whole Dream Casper thing where the whole pedophile stuff. Anyways, yeah, so that's on all podcast sources. It's streamed on twitch.tv/PowerUpNetwork, and you can find me there. LiQuid, where can people follow you?
So the best place to follow me is on Twitter at LiQuidGG, LiQiuDG. I tweet whenever I'm going to do anything. I tweet random esports things throughout the week, and I'm hoping that I can get through the craziness at work and actually start communicating more with everybody. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy the show, you can support us in a variety of ways. We are on Patreon, as mentioned, patreon.com/TrollsGG. Thank you to our chieftain, Super Dave, who has supported us to the point where he gets a shout out every show that we do on the Trolls.gg network. You can follow us on Twitter at Trollin HGC for show announcements and Heroes of the Storm news. And follow us on Twitch or subscribe on twitch.tv/TrollsGG. Subscribe to our show on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you happen to podcast. Please leave us a rating and a comment. We'd love to hear from our listeners and our viewers so that we can try to make the show as good for you as possible. Also visit our website, www.trolls.gg. Read all of our articles from our various writers, as well as catch up with all of our podcasts on demand. Need to get in touch with us? DMs are open, and that is the best way. You can also email us, trollin@trolls.gg. Thank you to chat, and thank you to all of our viewers and listeners. We will see you in the Nexus.
Peace out.